Thank you, Father Jaspers, Reverend Fathers, any honored guests, and my brothers. If you were to look at all of the influences and events in my life, the fact that I joined seminary would not seem crazy. In fact, it might even seem relatively probable. I went to a Catholic high school, had many great priest witnesses in my life. I began serving when I was in 4th grade. Seems like it checks off all the boxes. But below the surface of all that was the subtle influence of a culture that I bought into, and a culture that almost convinced me to completely throw away the idea of seminary. However, to understand that, it's first important to understand Hamilton County, Indiana, specifically Carmel, Indiana, my hometown. To put it briefly, Carmel, Indiana is just about every stereotype you can think of when it comes to suburban life in America. But don't get me wrong, I don't want to trash the suburbs because I thought it was pretty awesome growing up in Carmel. Everything was orderly, everything made sense, it was convenient, and it was easy. The grass was cut on Monday, trash picked up on Tuesday, recycling every other Wednesday, and the world kept on turning. There was a plan, and nothing deviated from that plan. It was safe, it was secure, and it was stable. Opportunities and options seemed endless. Success seemed something that was a given and guaranteed. And so, that was something that I bought into. That was how I based my decisions. I wanted order, I wanted comfort, and I wanted to keep all of my options open. And I did this by living 2 lives. One that was centered on Christ and growing in the faith, and another that's centered on striving for social success and gaining popularity. As I grew up, I recognized the love I had for the church and a deep desire I had for learning the faith, for becoming a great man, just like those priest witnesses I had seen. At the same time, though, I recognized that the road to social success was not paved by being boxed in as the church kid. I didn't want that. I wanted to keep everything on the table. So, by the time high school rolled around, I had perfected this art of living the double life. I was the leader of a young men's group in my parish. I'd become more involved in serving, and I still continue to feel that call to seminary and that desire for priesthood. At the same time, though, if you'd asked any of my friends at school, they would have said that I was just some teenager who only went to Mass every Sunday because his parents forced him to. I was discerning, but I lacked the courage to commit either way. However, any thought I had that I could continue to live this double life in seminary came to an abrupt end when, of all things, I came on a visit up here my senior year of high school. Because it was in that moment that I saw for the first time the true price of total commitment. And so, as a result, anxiety and self-doubt crept in, and I made a decision in fear to go to Purdue University instead of college seminary. I made a decision that was safe, secure, and stable, just like every other decision I had made. Fast forward now 2 years to my sophomore year at Purdue. I still felt a desire for priesthood and a calling to seminary, yet once again, fear was set to derail any realistic chance I had of applying. I couldn't see my life changing so radically. I couldn't imagine the amount of uncertainty and fear that would go into this transition. It was at this moment, however, just as I was about to make the decision, process again, go back to Purdue and get my degree, that I was pulled out of that fear. A specific moment came in the office of Father Thomas Hahn, a man who I consider my priest hero. And the specific words were simply, "Matthew, I am convinced that if you do not go through with this now and commit, then you will never have the courage to actually do it." Those words were jarring because I knew they were true. The decision to enter seminary was never going to be easy. I was going to continue to make excuses and continue to push it off as long as I could. I'd come to the realization that I could no longer successfully stay comfortable if the Lord was actually calling me to seminary, a decision that by its very nature required commitment and discomfort. I could no longer discern from the outside a decision had to be made. And so, the summer before seminary was just that, one of slowly taking the process step by step. It was filled with fear and anxiety, but brothers, I can say that there has been no greater peace and happiness in my life than what has come from that decision to enter seminary. Regardless of anything that happens in my future, that decision will always stand as a testament to the great peace that radical commitment and trust in the Lord produces, something that could never come from the comfort and security of remaining within myself. Praise be Jesus Christ.